All right.
Okay.
Let's get this game started.
Yeah. Just
So, we want to test your Canada knowledge, everybody. Are you ready for some Canada trivia? So, this is what you
yay.
do. We're going to be showing you pictures. We're going to be asking you questions. If you know the answer to the question, you type it into the chat box and then you wait to see whether you're correct. We will tell you. All right.
Yeah.
So, first question. Huh. What is this?
What's that?
What is this popular Quebecois snack of French fries and gravy and cheese curd?
Oh.
Carla, poutine. You answered correctly. Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Wow.
correct.
Okay. We got quite a few people
That
with
is correct.
this.
Popular late night snack
My God.
originating in Quebec. It's delicious.
Looking healthy.
Totally not healthy. And that's why it's so delicious.
Okay, so next up, we are going to show you a series actually of different landscapes from major cities in Canada. And we would like you to guess which landscape belongs to which city. Okay, so first off, any thoughts? Carla, again, Montreal. Thank you, Carla. And
Extra
that's
points.
the Montreal Biodome located at the Olympic Park. Yeah, that's way to go, Carla.
Amazing. We can end our Destination Canada talk here.
Carla, do you want to join the panel and then introduce Canada to the rest of us?
Yeah. Amazing. So shall I go to the next
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Carla, should I even wait? Toronto. No, this one is Elise. Okay, great. Wonderful.
Okay,
Thank you.
Elise. Yes, you're right. Elise and Raphael. However, follow-up question. How many tourists per year does Toronto on average see?
Oh my God.
I know this is a trick question.
It's a tough question.
The winner gets some poutine. No guesses? Toronto sees 25 million visitors every single year on average.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people want to see Toronto.
Wow. To see Ali, maybe.
Yes,
Maybe.
absolutely.
How about the next one? Oh,
And the next one is, yay, Raphael, you got it. Okay, so Vancouver is also actually, for those of you who didn't know, it's also called the Hollywood North. Can you guess why? Because a lot of major movies are made in Vancouver. They pretend that it's not, it's in the States, but it's actually in Vancouver. So just to give you examples, I think we got iRobot, we had Deadpool, we had this Twilight series, and just to name a few.
and
Yeah.
actually, a lot of filming happens right outside the school. So whoever comes here, you keep your eyes open for all of the celebrities that are walking by.
And Marty is a celebrity too, by the way.
Exactly. In fact, after this, I have to go film a movie.
Awesome.
Next one is for all of the foodies out there. If you love food, you want to go to this city, which has the most restaurants per capita in Canada. Which Canadian city is this? No guesses.
Oh.
We'll give you a clue. No, not Ottawa.
Oh.
Montreal.
Yeah, you got it, Louise.
Yes, Louise.
Okay, and the next one is, oh, okay. So you probably, hopefully, seen Canada on the map, and you've seen such a big country it is. Can you guess how many time zones we have in Canada, given the size?
Really?
Can you try again, Elise? You see 3 clocks, but that's part of the, yeah.
Oh, so close.
Almost.
Do we have
cool.
We've got 6 different time zones in Canada, believe it or not.
amazing? Such a huge country.
Yeah, such a huge country.
Wow.
This next one should be easy for you. Can you tell me, oops,
Sorry, something's wrong with the screen.
okay,
Yeah.
here we go. Can you guys tell us what the official second language of Canada is?
Oh, the
French.
excitement.
Yes,
Carla, you did it again.
English
Amazing.
and French. Yep, that's correct.
Our new Canada expert.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, and let me again make official welcome to all of you. Welcome to another exciting ILSC talk series. My name is Ila. I am the Global Sales Director based in Sydney, Australia. I am together with 3 of my amazing colleagues, our Canada expert, Marty, Marcia, and Ali. And would you like to share a little bit about yourselves? Maybe we can start with Marty.
Okay, so I am based here in Vancouver. Um, I started off as a teacher myself. I was also a student of French in Quebec. And I love working here at ILSC because we're able to kind of share the experience with the students and show them how awesome Vancouver is, how awesome Canada is.
Awesome. And how about you, Marcia?
Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Marcia. I'm the sales director for Brazil. I'm based in Vancouver, but I'm Brazilian, right? So, and I love to work in this industry. I've been living in Canada for 17 years, but I live in Australia for 4 years. So I have the experience of both countries. So I feel very both countries are in my heart, right? So I feel very comfortable to talk about both countries. So I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. And Ali?
Yes. So my name is Ali, and I'm representing ILSC and Greystone Toronto here today. I have been with the school for 21 years now, and I started as a teacher, and I love education. I love international education in particular. It's great to be part of your learning journey, and it's always amazing to see the transformative impact that education has on everybody's life, which is why I probably continue to work at ILSC for the next 21 years as well.
I don't think I can quite beat at least 21 years. Have you started working with ILSC when you were 6? Well, so yeah, a little bit about me as well. Maybe many of you probably already worked with me before. I have been working with ILSC Education Group mainly for Australia for the last, I think, 12, 13 years. I actually didn't even count. And I worked in various departments, student services, enrollments, as well as sales. At the moment, I am working very closely with sales onshore and offshore team. And yeah, I'm based in Sydney, Australia. And today, we would really love to emphasize the fact that Canada is open. I know all of us have been anxiously waiting for Australia to reopen its border, but we know that we have another amazing destination that we really want to emphasize to you. And Canada is our birthplace, where ILSC Education Group started. So hopefully today's session can help you deepen your knowledge about and our campuses in Canada so that you don't have to wait anymore. And yeah, also talking a little bit about the differences and similarities between Canada and Australia as a study work destinations as well. And I came to Australia as an international student many, many years ago. Back then, one of my, I think, biggest dilemma was choosing the right destination. And for me, back then, I chose Australia purely because of my wrong impression of imagining maybe I could see kangaroos and koalas everywhere when I come to Sydney, which wasn't really true. But anyway, we know that between Canada and Australia, there are a lot of alignments and similarity, especially quality of education and quality of life. So it's going to be seamless transition if you were initially considering Australia. Now you don't have to wait at all. So let's delve deeper into all things Canada, starting with Mari again.
Mhm.
Over to you,
Canada.
Mari.
Thank you, Ila. I'll take the mic from you. um, so Canada, like Ila was saying, we have just a top ranking quality of life. In fact, in 2021, we were ranked the number one best country on the best countries report, followed by in second and third place, Japan and Germany. Australia came in fifth above USA, which is sixth.
Oh.
Another great thing is that students are able to work in Canada. And we'll be able to tell you a little bit more about that in later slides. We are a culturally diverse country. The citizens here come from so many countries of origin and cultural backgrounds. Everybody here enjoys the natural beauty of Canada. We're going to be showing you some more pictures, but it's just a variety of landscapes, mountains, plains, lakes, rivers. We've got 151,000 miles of coastline for you to explore here. All the while enjoying like world renowned quality of education. We have here home to top ranking universities that ILSC has connections with, including University of Toronto, University of British Columbia, my university, and McGill University. And international students can receive their COVID vaccine when they come to Canada. So these are all the great perks of coming to Canada these days. But we do want to talk a little bit about the destinations of ILSC in Canada, starting off with Vancouver. Here are a few pictures of Vancouver. I love Vancouver. I was born and raised in Vancouver, so I have a lot of wonderful things to say. What the first one is that this is where ILSC started 30 years ago. It is our 30th year anniversary this year. Vancouver is a very safe city for students, for regular people. We have a very low crime rate. The climate is ideal. It's mild and moderate year round. Yes, we get a lot of rain, but that's why we have a lot of greenery here because of the rain. Average temperatures in the summer, 20 degrees Celsius. In the winters, a high of 9. But it's beautiful. We are a 4-season kind of province. Again, beautiful landscape. We are a coastal city, so you have a good mix of metropolitan right next to all of the activities that the coast has to offer: surfing, wind surfing, hikes, just hanging out at the beach. And like I was saying earlier, home to University of British Columbia, Simon Fraser University, both highly ranked universities here for international students to attend.
And we go to Toronto. So like Marty said, I since I live in Toronto, my description of the city is going to be a bit biased, but believe me, Toronto is the most amazing city that I've ever lived in. It's the largest city in Canada. It's actually the fourth largest city in North America after Mexico City, New York, and LA. But given its size, it's a fairly safe and secure city. The transportation, public transportation is great. It has anything that you can want from a big city. It's got business. If you're interested in culture, art, music, festivals, theater, you name it, it's all there. It's a very vibrant city, and I can tell you that ILSC Toronto, 2 campuses, they're right in the middle of the heart of downtown. We've got 2 modern campuses with over 50 classrooms available, and it's close to many of the destinations and attractions that the city has. For example, in this picture, you see the CN Tower. We're walking distance to the CN Tower. We're walking distance to the to Dundas Square, which is right beside a big shopping center. So you name it, it's all there. And in terms of the weather, I think those of you who joined earlier might remember that I said that it's 26 in Toronto, and it's pretty much 26 all throughout the year, except maybe for the winter time where it becomes a little bit cold. But overall, it's definitely an experience, and I highly encourage you to come and visit us. And next is Montreal. Excellent. So Montreal is also an amazing city. It is the biggest city in the province of Quebec. It is actually the biggest French-speaking city outside of France, after Paris, and it has, again, culture, food, music, festivals. I think it has actually the highest number of festivals that are held in Canada on an annual basis. And it's also the employment hub of the province. And it's a great student city. All 3 schools, actually, all 3 cities are actually great student cities because of the fact that they've got major universities in all of them. And Montreal is not an exception. And talking about ILSC and Greystone Montreal, again, we're right in the heart of downtown, very modern, amazing campus. You can see the campus in Marcia's background, actually. And the good thing is that, in addition, something that Montreal has that we don't have in Toronto and Vancouver is that you can study French and English at the same time. So if you're studying English, if you would like to try French, or if you'd like to try both, you can definitely go to Montreal. As you can imagine, we have limited time, but if you want to learn more about any of these cities, we are going to share our YouTube channel with you, and you are going to find a lot of city-specific videos that can go into more details about each of our destinations.
And now a little bit about our programs at ILSC. We offer general English programs so that students are able to kind of build on their already existing skills, and of course improve the ones that are there. They can focus on their skills in a very, very flexible way. We also have academic preparation for those that are wanting to prepare for college or university. We offer test preparation like IELTS and Cambridge. Another interesting tidbit is that our centers in all 3 destinations are testing centers as well. What we want to focus on with you today is our college and university pathway program, though. And before I go a little bit more into that, we want to also tell you about how we offer online programs.
Sorry, Marty, before you move to the next slide, I just want to mention that everybody's going to get a copy of this presentation, so you don't need to take notes or take photos. And if you have any questions, you can always type in your questions in the chat, and then there will be a Q&A session at the end. So if you have your questions first, that's going to be the first question to be answered.
That's right. So in addition to the in-person We offer the same programs on an online format. Again, general English, that English communication program, academic purposes online, and of course, our pathway programs online so that students don't need to wait. They can start their studies online immediately. And then when they're able to travel, they can finish their program at one of our campuses. Now onto our university pathway program. So what's great about our pathway program, one of the things that we're really proud of is our partners with over 60 colleges and universities in Canada and the US. In North America, we have around 90. I'm sorry. In the US, we have about 30 college and university partners. Our students are also able to select from 12 universities that offer master's degree programs. In terms of the minimum levels that students are required to have, most of the students transferring to a college or university must have at least an advanced level. A few of our colleges will accept students who have completed the I3 or I4 level. So that all depends on which program and which institution they want to enroll into. We offer a service for university pathway students that will help them to keep on track to transfer to their college or university of choice. We call this the academic excellence assurance. And with this, students are able to work very closely with their university pathway coordinator who will monitor their progress. And by the way, ILSC students, 89% of our university pathway students do progress in 8 weeks, which is amazing. And in addition to that, they are considered just very high quality, well prepared pathway students, according to at least one of our partners here. Proof of that, our students are coming in with an average GPA or grade point average of 2.7 when the domestic students are coming in below that. So we do prepare our students well for transfer. Shall we answer this question first or wait till the end, Ila? From Rosario.
Let's take a look. If it's related to pathways programs, then maybe we can answer now. What do
It
you
is.
think?
So
Yeah.
the question is, if the student completed the English at ILSC and wants to go to university as a pathway student, does the student need to get IELTS or any English test to enter the university? And thank you so much for asking this question, Rosario, because I was just wanting to tell you that students who are enrolled in our university pathway programs, they will receive conditional letters of acceptance from all of our partners. All of our partners, provided that they're not applying into a highly competitive program. So if a student completes the ILSC University Pathway Program, they do not need to submit an IELTS score or TOEFL score. They are conditionally accepted. For highly competitive programs, they need to apply into the program as any other domestic student would. So any program that is in the health field, like dental technology, some in early childhood education is one of them. We have some graphic design programs that are considered highly competitive. But a student can work with their university pathway coordinator to determine the programs that they want to enroll into and what those admission requirements are.
But sorry, just to add, historically, over 90% of the programs that our students have selected, are not within the just the few regulated programs, like nursing, as an example that Marty was explaining.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Ali. So in addition to the service that we offer our university partner university pathway students. It is assistance to actually apply to the university, so helping out with all of the forms. They help to arrange the tours of the university campuses. They will work with the student to put together individual learning plans that are realistic and that will guarantee them success and level progression. We also want to prepare them culturally for the Canadian university life. What that means is academic skills, academic research, kind of comprehension of the lectures that they will be hearing in class, that kind of thing. Let's see here. What other special things can I tell you? Yes, that's everything with regards to the service that we provide. Now, in terms of the path for the student. So a student who actually enrolls into our pathway program will eventually transfer into one of our university partners. Our university and college partners, once a student has completed their programs, will be eligible for something called the postgraduate work permit, which we will discuss in more detail in the following slides. After a student has been working with their postgraduate work permit for at least 1 year, they are eligible to apply for permanent resident status. And provided the processing of their permanent resident status is, smooth, they're able to get their PR status in 3 to 12 months.
Awesome.
Mhm.
And shall we move on
Yes,
to
please. Yes, please.
and
Thank you very much, Marty, for explaining some of the exciting programs that we have available at ILSC. Now I'm going to focus on Greystone. I understand that many of you already know Greystone, at least in Australia. So what I would like to do in this slide and the next couple of slides coming up is to maybe focus on Greystone Canada and the programs that we offer and the things that we do for our students, and also maybe a little bit of information about the Canadian job market and work rights. So let's start with a bit of history. Greystone is not quite as old as ILSC, no, so we are not celebrating 30 years, but we are celebrating close to 20 years. We started back in 2002. And we, as you know, we offer quality vocational programs and in different fields, but namely the fields that we offer programs in are business, tourism, hospitality, and digital marketing. And we have locations in Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal. So what we've done here on this slide is that we're trying to give you some of the key and unique features that we have in Greystone Canada. And obviously we can't go into a lot of details for all of those items, but I just want to give you an overview of some of these features. So one of the biggest advantages, or one of the biggest features that we have about our programs, is the fact that we have options and we have variety. And that the options and the variety show themselves in different ways. For example, we have variety in type of program. We have, as an example, certificate programs that are a little bit shorter. We have diploma programs that are longer. We also have variety in our schedules. We have classes that are offered during the day. We have classes that are offered in the evening. So depending on the schedule that the students want, there's always option in there. We also have variety in type of focus, as obviously as students, different people are looking for different things. As an example, if getting the knowledge is more important to the students, we have our academic options. And if studying and working at the same time are more important, or then the co-op program would be, the co-op stream would be the option for you. And I'm going to give you a little bit more detail about the co-op in the next couple of slides. But in addition to variety, we have quality in the program. One of the things that I think you need to know about Canada is that education is a provincial issue and a provincial mandate. So unlike Australia, where the federal government makes decisions and it they're applied in all different parts of the country, each province may have different policies, and each province has its own ministry. So the programs that we offer at Greystone College, all of them have been approved by the ministries in each province. So in BC, in Ontario, and in Quebec. In addition to that, all of our instructors are experts in the industry that they teach, and they bring in a lot of experience to the classroom and to their students. In fact, the quality of the programs are so high that some of the programs that we offer have credit transfer options to a university. So as an example, you could finish a program, International Business Management as an example, at Greystone, and then later on you can transfer some of the credits to Yorkville University as an example. So that shows the level of quality that the university has recognized, and therefore they have granted the credit transfer. We also assist our students from day one to be job ready. As a vocational school, obviously, we gauge our level of success with employment rates. So we do everything that we can in order to make sure that our students hit the ground running when they arrive. In Canada, I'm going to explain this a little bit more, but in Canada, students who are enrolled in Greystone can work and study at the same time. So it is very important for them to know how they can find a job, how they can hit the job market from day one, which is why we have workshops for them starting in the very first week that they start to prepare them with resume writing, interview skills, and we coach them and help them review their resumes as an example. We assist them with all of the paperwork they may require at the beginning. We hold job fairs so that they can meet employers and then talk to them, find out, and many of our students actually hired on the spot at these job fairs. All of our students also have access to a job bank that is available on our website. It's an exclusive job bank. We work with a lot of different employers, and whenever they have a position, given the quality and the satisfaction they have with our students that they had hired in the past, they post their jobs on this site, and our students can seamlessly apply for those jobs, and that applies to both the type of jobs that they try to find during their studies, and also for the co-op positions. In addition to this, we are also assisting all of our students, all of our Greystone students, with some complimentary immigration services and visa services. As an example, you need to, sometimes some students need to extend their study permit, or maybe extend their work permit, or apply for a work permit for the students that are moving from ILSC to Greystone. And we have a host of services that are absolutely complimentary to our students. They would have to pay the government fees, but the actual service of consultation with a licensed immigration advisor, it's taken care of by the school. And something else that is extremely important, and I think it is unique to Greystone, is our commitment to maintaining and helping students with mental health. We fully realize that our students are coming to a strange country. They might be under a lot of stress for a lot of different reasons. So we feel that it is extremely important for us to be able to assist them with that. And therefore, all of our Greystone students and all of the UPath students, all of the long-term students that study with Greystone or ILSC, they have access to Keep Me Safe, which Marty is going to explain a little bit more later on. So I'm not going to spoil that, but yeah, that's a unique feature that we have at Greystone.
Amazing, awesome.
Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay, so I did talk about the programs a little bit in the previous slides, but I just wanted to give you again those main fields that we are offering programs in. And in the next slide, we'll give you more details and give you a list of all of the programs that we offer. But I just wanted to highlight why we are, operating in business, hospitality, and digital marketing. And that's based on our analysis and our research on the job market here in Canada and also overseas. As I said earlier, we feel that at Greystone, our job number one is to try to help students get employed as a vocational college. Therefore, we feel that all of these fields match the job market in Canada, which means that we can help maximize the chances of our students finding jobs, both while they're studying and after they get to the co-op or after they graduate, if they decide to stay in the country or move back home. Thank you, Ila. So we could go to the a more detailed list of programs. So as you can see, it's quite an impressive list of programs compared to many other private colleges in the country, and they cover different aspects of those fields of study that we talked about. But what is also amazing is the fact that there is a range of proficiency levels in English that it's required, which means that regardless of where you are in your level of skills in English, there are different programs that you can take. So as you can see here, some students that are even at IELTS level 4, they can start with the customer service, right? And if you're at a higher level, there are a few options there. And if you're at an advanced level, again, there are a few different options there. And even if you're not ready to reach if you're not at that point ready to join the program of your choice, we could always have you at ILSC and then help you reach that point fairly quickly. Thank you, Ila. So with that in mind, okay. So maybe I did talk about the variety that we have in the schedules. So the two top schedules that you see up there are the schedules that we have in Greystone Toronto and Greystone Vancouver. So on the left, you have the schedule for the day classes. And on the right, you have the schedule for the evening classes. Now, the sessions, the modules in the morning are typically 4 weeks. In the evening, they're typically 6 weeks. Now, the modules are fairly intensive compared to maybe the experience that you may have with Greystone Australia. So there are more hours in any given week in terms of the instructional hours. But that's during the day. If you're looking for something that is less intensive in terms of the number of hours on a weekly basis, then the evening classes will probably be a better option. For two reasons. A, you have fewer number of instructional hours on a weekly basis, and when the 6 weeks of each module ends, then it's followed by 2 weeks of a break, which would make things a little bit less intensive, and it would allow you to work full time during the 2 weeks that you are going to be on the break.
Sounds good.
The two schedules below are the daytime schedules and the evening schedules in Quebec. As I mentioned before, there are some provincial differences that sometimes would mandate, a little bit of a different approach. So those are slightly different in Quebec, but Montreal and Vancouver are identical. Thank you.
Awesome. And I have some questions to you, Ali.
Thank you, Ila.
I am learning from the Canada expert, just like all of you. I still need to learn more about Canada, especially about Greystone College program, and as well as work rights in Canada. So can you tell me a little bit about international student work in Canada?
Absolutely, it's a pleasure. Well, can the international students work in Canada? Yes, absolutely. We have work rights for students that study at a vocational college. So if you are studying English at ILSC, as an example, then you will only be able to work if you transfer into a college, for example, Greystone, or transfer into one of the UPath partners that we have, that Marty was mentioning earlier. So as a language school, no, but as a vocational student, yes. Did I answer your question, Ila? Can you
Yes.
go to the next one?
Yeah, sure. Like while I am studying language program at ILSC, I will be focusing on studying, but when I move on to Greystone College, I'll be able to start working as an international student, right?
Absolutely. As
Awesome.
Marty mentioned, we have very, our university pathway is a very popular program. It's probably our biggest program in the country right now. So many of our students are trying to get through their language learning journey as quickly as possible so that they can get to the college. That college could be Greystone, or it could be any of the other partners that we have. And as soon as they start their program at that vocational level, or it could be a university, then their work rights will kick in.
Great, fantastic. And this mystery language of co-op that in Australia, we really are not very familiar with. So if you could also tell us about co-op.
Absolutely. Well, many institutions in Canada and North America, including universities, they have a work experience component. So you could be an engineer, as an example, and have 1 year of your university spent on a co-op placement. As a vocational college, obviously the work experience, the hands-on experience that you get while working with within the field that you're studying at is extremely important. So as I mentioned earlier, we have two different streams. We have the academic stream, where the students only study the content of that particular field, as an example, tourism. And after they graduate, they typically travel back home. Now, the same program also has a co-op component. So as an example, if you study at the customer service, then you can study for 6 months. And then after the 6 months ends, then you will have another 6 months of co-op experience. So you effectively get the chance to try what you have learned in the class in the field. All of the positions are related to the program. So as an example, if you've studied, for example, within the hospitality program, then you might try and look for a job in a hotel, as an example, that would be directly related. If you studied international business, then your job would be, as an example, would be related to marketing or something also office related, business related. So it's an extremely important component. And what is also important in terms of the work rights between during the period of time when you're studying and the co-op is that in Canada, the students that are studying are only allowed to work for 20 hours a week on a weekly basis. But when you start your co-op, then there's no limitation and you can work full time.
That's great. Fantastic.
Yeah. And the limitation of the 20 hours, as I said, it's only applicable to the periods of time when you're studying. So as an example, in the evening classes, when the 2 weeks that you have as a break at the end, then you don't have any restriction. You can also work full time during those 2 weeks of break.
Oh, that's good. Fantastic.
We have Ikuyo with her hand up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If she could maybe type the question in the chat box, maybe we can read.
If you guys see any questions, if you just let me know, and then I'll try and.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many hours can students work legally? So again, if you are studying, if you are still in class, then you can work 20 hours a week. Once you complete the academic portion, or during the periods of time when you are on a break, as an example, then you don't have any limitation. You can work full time. So, and that full time could be, depending on the province, it could be around 40 hours a week.
Awesome. And also about whether or not we can get any help from ILSC and Greystone.
Yeah, absolutely. As I've mentioned a couple of times already, that's our success. When our students find jobs, that's our success as a vocational school. So that's the reason why we're here. So we do everything that we can in order to make that happen. I mentioned a few of the things, but I think they're worth repeating. We do work placement skills classes, resume workshops, interview workshops. Our co-op department works with students one-on-one to help them with their resume, coach them on interview skills. So we do mock interviews. We hold job fairs regularly where they can meet prospective employers and potential employers. And many of our students are hired on the spot. We have our job site or job bank on our site. And to be honest with you, given the popularity, given the fact that the programs that we offer sort of match the work needs of our destinations, then sometimes it's not really hard to find those positions. But we arrange for even interviews for our students. So anything that we can in our power, we do it so that our students find the jobs, both while they're studying and also during their co-op.
Fantastic. And the last question about the work rights would be about postgraduate work permit. And
Yes.
I don't know whether anybody and everybody can apply for the postgraduate work permit. So if you can explain a little bit more about it, that would be great.
So the postgrad work permit also exists in Australia, right? So it's not a new concept, right?
Something similar, yes.
Something similar. Okay. So as the name suggests, postgrad work permit, some students, when they finish their programs, typically in a college or university, they get a work permit post-graduation, after they graduate. So the period of time, the length of the postgrad work permit depends on the length of the program. So as an example, if your program is 2 years, then typically the postgrad work permit will also be 2 years. The postgrad work permit at this point, as I said, going back to how Canada in Canada education is a provincial matter, postgrad work permit is available to all Greystone students who study in Montreal, at Greystone Montreal, and typically they get at least a year of postgrad work permit. And I think it needs to be noted that even though that postgrad work permit is issued to the students in the province of Quebec, the actual work permit is Canada-wide. So as an example, when they get their work permit in Quebec, and if they want to go and find a job in BC, nothing's going to stop them. So they can use that work permit anywhere in Canada.
Oh, that's fantastic, Ali.
Yeah. In Ontario and British Columbia, unfortunately, there are some more restrictions. So graduates from Greystone, Canada, can only get postgrad work permit if they take advantage of those, the articulation agreements that I talked about, the credit transfer. So as an example, when you finish your international business management, then you can articulate into and transfer your credits into Yorkville University. And as soon as you start at Yorkville University, as soon as you graduate from Yorkville University, then you can apply for the work permit, postgrad work permit. In addition to that, we also have, all of our university pathway partners. Once you complete their programs, you are qualified. You'll be entitled to the postgrad work permit as well. So many of our Greystone students also, once they complete the program, and if they are interested in having that postgrad work permit, they sort of join our university pathway, and then they go into that stream so that they can get access to the postgrad work permit.
Wow, that's brilliant.
All right, so I also wanted to sort of give you some examples as to how the structure of the programs are. So I've got 2 examples. As an example, if we have somebody enrolled in the Diploma in Business Communication in the co-op version of that program, and it's a daytime, then the actual program, the study period is 24 weeks. So basically 6 modules of 4 weeks each. And then the period of the co-op and the studies will sort of match in terms of the hours. So you also get 24 weeks of co-op. As I said earlier, you can work 20 hours a week while you're studying, and you can work full-time while you're in your co-op.
Brilliant.
Now, I also have an example for the evening option. In the evening option, if you're interested in something that is less intensive in terms of the schedule, and if you're interested in staying in the country for a longer period of time, then the evening options would be definitely for you. So in the evening, given the fact that the programs are less intensive in terms of the number of hours of instruction, then you have 48 weeks of studies and 40 weeks of co-op. So that's 88 weeks altogether, and the same rule in terms of the working hours will still apply. Sorry, I know that I've talked too much and we're limited in time, so
Yeah.
we were more than happy to answer any questions that you have maybe later. Thank you.
Thank you, Ali. I had a lot of questions, so for our audience.
I am typing some of the answers here. Where you go? Where are you going?
Very quickly, thank you, Marcia, for answering the questions that are popping up in the question and answer box. Very quickly about the pre and post arrival services that are very special. Some of them we've already spoken to you about, so I won't linger on that for too long. But one of the unique services that we're able to provide you with you and the student with support for throughout the entire process. So we will be able to help you in multiple languages. You'll be getting that support from our sales team, from our registration team, and once the student is here, from our student services teams on site. Ali already mentioned that we do provide immigration services that are included in the packages that the students are enrolling into here at ILSC for any visa application assistance. I mentioned earlier that all of our university pathway students will receive a conditional letter of acceptance. They do not need to submit an IELTS or standardized language proficiency test score in order to be admitted to our partners. And finally, as Ali mentioned, a service that really looks after the mental well-being of our long-term students called Keep Me Safe. Students are able to access it 24/7 in their language. They're able to speak to a professional, medical professional on the phone, through a chat box, on a video call. So I think it's important for everybody here to know that they can get the help that they need if they're feeling a little bit nervous or unsure because of the stresses of being a student abroad.
And it's a complimentary service.
And it's a complimentary service. It is for everybody.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Marty. And we learned about Canada today, Canada as a destination, as well as our amazing programs under ILSC, as well as Greystone College. And we really learned that there are a lot of similarities between what we offer in Australia and what we offer in Canada, and as well as different cities similarities as well. We have Marcia here who may want to actually share her experience in terms of maybe more similarities between Canada and Australia. Marcia here, she's been helping our student and agents focusing on actually both destinations for a very, very long time. And she also talked to us in the very beginning that she lived in Australia as well, and then she so maybe we can hear something from Marcia.
Sure. No, that'll be great. Thank you, Hila. We can go through these slides, and I think it's a good opportunity to do, to summarize what we learned here. So basically, in terms of the schedule, in Canada, we have T1 and T2. You guys are very familiar, T1, T2, T3, which is the morning, afternoon, and evening in Australia. In Canada, you only have the morning and afternoon. And you might wonder why that happened, right? Because you remember, language students in Canada, the ELICOS students, they are not allowed to work. So ELICOS students in Canada, they are much more focused in advancing the English in order to go to either a college such as Greystone College or a college like a university or a public college, as we say, so that they can work. Because until they get to the college or university, students are not allowed to work. So lesson number one, English students are not allowed to work. So this is something that it's important to remember because I know it's really important, right? So and the study permit, I received some questions that I start to type and I answer, but I can answer here while I'm talking about that. The study permit, students, how does it work, the study permit? Students that come to Canada, they can come as a visitor up to 24 weeks, right? 24 weeks or longer, they need a study permit, which is different than Australia. In Australia, the students they can study, they can visit up to 12 weeks, right? And study without study permit, and 12 weeks or longer, they want a study permit so then they can work. So that's another thing that I think it's important to remember. And they can, once the student come with a study permit in Canada, they can extend the study permit as long as they continue to study. But if they don't have another program, they cannot extend their studies because they don't have a program. So that's something that I hope it's you guys understand that. So you want to go to another slide, Ila?
Sure.
And then in terms of Greystone College, I would like to highlight a few things. Age requirements. So in Australia, minimum age for Greystone College is 18 years old. In Canada, as long as they complete high school, they can start the Greystone College. Of course, most students start Greystone College that complete high school, they are 18 years old anyways. So that's something to remember. So that's something to think about. The class schedule in Australia, you have a hybrid model. We have weeknights and we have weekends. In Australia, is full time, is day and evening. And different from Australia, that the students, they don't need to go to class every day. In Canada, they go to classes every day because it's really important for the attendance, right? And the co-op program, Ali already talked about the co-op program. It's a great opportunity for the students to practice what they learn. So that's something that Ali explained really extensively and very nicely. But basically, what I always try to explain to students and agents is that it's really good, the co-op concept, because the students have the opportunity to study something and practice what they learn, right? So that's really good as well. The job support, we do have job club in Australia. In Canada, as Ali explained, Marty, we have job fair. We do everything to help the students to get jobs. The work rights, that's one point that I understand that's really important. In Canada, the students are allowed to work only when they are at Greystone College. They're not allowed to work at ILSC while they study English. And they are allowed to work 20 hours per week while they do Greystone College during the study period. Once they are on the break, they can study 40 hours per week, okay? And some people ask me here, like, oh, they can extend their work permit. It doesn't work like that, because you have to remember the work permit is related to the study. So you cannot just extend the work permit, unless, of course, your employer decide to sponsor, then it's a different concept, right? But it's not an extension of the work permit, but rather a different type of visa altogether, if you know what I mean. And the breaks in Australia, the programs has breaks, like set up breaks during the whole program. In Canada, doesn't work like that, only for the evening. The evening program works like that. They start the module, each module lasts 6 weeks. So 6 weeks of studies, and then the student has 2 weeks break. So the whole period of study, which is 48 weeks, it's 44 weeks now, it's study and break, the whole period of time. During the day, they don't have breaks. Open, and one thing that's very popular nowadays, we in Brazil and in Latin countries, in Asia and Europe and all the countries, people are very interested about it, is about open work permit for the partner. So in Canada, similar to Australia, there are this option. In Australia, there is an open work permit for the partner. In Canada, there is open work permit for partner as well, but only for Greystone College Montreal. In Vancouver and Toronto, that option is not available. And for some students that are interested in bringing their kids, if they go study at Montreal, they are able to enroll their kids in the public system for free. So let's say I come to Canada, to Montreal, for instance, with my husband and my child. So my husband will have an open work permit and my child can go to school for free.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's an important point. So immigration support we offer in Canada, as we said as well. And immigration possibility, a lot of people ask about it. So Canada's similar to Australia, we do have different streams for immigration possibilities. So we have one specific through Greystone Montreal, which it allows students to get the PGWP, which is the postgraduate work permit that the student can get after they finish the program, which allow them to stay longer in the country and apply for immigration. Of course, there are other programs through Vancouver and Toronto, as Ali said, through the province, but the PGWP is something that's really popular. And if you guys want to know more about it, please ask us and you can help you.
I think we have probably a couple of questions.
Yes.
Can you take a look at the questions?
Okay.
Perhaps it might be related to.
No problem. Carla asked, can you extend your work permit with your employee? And that's exactly what I said, Carla. You cannot just extend the work permit because your work permit that you receive is related to the program that you studied at Greystone College. So you cannot just say, oh, can I just work longer? It doesn't work like that. Unless, of course, you buy another program, like let's say in our university or another Greystone College program that give the permission for you to work. So, or the employer allow you, the employer decide to sponsor you, but there is no such a thing as extension of work permit because it's linked to the study permit. So Brianna asked, in terms of quarantine, can two students join the same stay in a hotel arranged by ILSC and split the cost? I post here and I can post again on the chat. We have a comprehensive quarantine package that was put together, approved by the Canada government, explain all the details. And yes,
I can answer that question, Marcia. So if the two individuals are part of the same family, yes, it is allowed. But if they're in different households, no, yes, unfortunately they will not. Yeah.
They're not allowed. But the costs that relate to the cost, there are costs for one person or two or three, or depends how many people. And Brianna asked, obviously, if they depart from the same country and from the same airport in the same flight. It's like Ali said, Brianna, if they student from the same household, is possible.
Awesome. So I think we are about 10 minutes over time. So maybe I want to remind all of you for your amazing participation. And also we will share our recording via email when we finish our session today. And we've got a few extra slides talking a little bit more about similarities and differences between Canada and Australia in terms of our services, enrollment process, and lifestyles. And lastly, once again, we are here to help you at any time. We had amazing directors from Vancouver and Toronto here with us today, Marty and Ali, and from sales team, Marcia and myself. And we also have our sales colleagues around the world who can help you out in your time zone and in your languages most of the time. So please reach out to us, and also stay tuned for more exciting ILSC talks to come. And thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure, everybody. Thank
It
you.
was great. Thank you. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Everyone.
Bye. Love
Bye-bye.
again.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.